Stormtroopers! On the double! Fire!
Hey guys, this is the Scoundrel's Cantina, and in this video we'll be talking about a theory on Captain Rex surviving the Galactic Civil War all the way up to Battle of Endor in Return of the Jedi. So let's go on. Executive producer Dave Filoni dropped the following bomb on fans, and I quote, "The one thing I have really thought about is I really do think Rex is that guy on Endor. I really do. Where else is there a bearded old guy on Endor?" For those who don't know what Filoni is referencing, here's a side-by-side comparison of Captain Rex as he appears in Rebels and the as of yet unnamed, in canon anyways, extra from the Endor strike team in Return of the Jedi. But he is named in the expanded universe as Nick Sent. Now, as most of you know, we merged the expanded universe and the official Star Wars story together because that is our point of view on the amazing story of Star Wars, and we also believe that Return of the Jedi should be the happy ending in the Star Wars story. The link is in the description if you want to see our video on that. As we can see on many occasions, Dave Filoni also has his headcanon like we do, even though it's not official by Disney, which is one of the reasons why I respect him so much. And not only that, but when he gives us some references like these, he usually makes it come to life because he believes in them as part of the story. He's not the only one that has his own canon. For example, Samuel L. Jackson believes that Mace Windu survived Revenge of the Sith, and so do we because even George Lucas said why not. Now, before we show all of you the proof that Captain Rex is on Endor during the time of Return of the Jedi, I just want to say that for us this isn't a theory and it's a part of our Star Wars story, but you guys are more than welcome to take it in any way you like, because after all we all have free will to believe and like what we want to. Now let's begin.
It's hard to deny the similarities, even in the style of the beard and mustache themselves, but the case for Rex in Return of the Jedi goes deeper, even before it was all confirmed by the man who gave us this resilient clone captain in the first place. In fact, we've seen him in Rebel Commando gear before. Remember at the start of Season 5 of Star Wars The Clone Wars, in the War on Two Fronts episode, when a secret Jedi-sponsored insurrection against the Separatist operation of the planet Endor enlisted Rex to help train its guerrillas. The Rebels' uniforms, according to StarWars.com's episode guide, were based on concepts for the Rebel Commandos from the film, but look at Rex's helmet specifically. Unmistakably, this is extremely reminiscent of the Endor Rebel Commando helmets. We've seen this sort of imagery foreshadowing many times in the Clone Wars, with Anakin's Jedi armor strongly suggesting Vader's chest plate, also Republic starships looming over Meriden in Defenders of Peace, portending at the coming Empire, and the hellish well of the dark side in Ghost of Mortis, where Anakin has a vision of his future as Vader strongly echoing Mustafar, where that vision would come to pass. I'm not trying to say that Rex's outfit was designed with making him the granddaddy of all rebel troopers in mind at the time, but in retrospect, it really is a nice touch. Rex is specifically chosen by Anakin for the mission because he can train the ragtag rebels to conduct guerrilla operations. It's reasonable to think that that's what he did for the Endor strike team too. He would be the one to disguise himself as an Imperial. In Return of the Jedi, Han taps a scout trooper on the shoulder, leading him around the corner to an assembly of rebel commandos. The elderly commando in question immediately sets his rifle on the ground. When we see the team entering the bunker, our bearded buddy is now putting on the scout's helmet, taking up his post guarding the bunker. Undeniably, this was part of the plan, judging by how quickly he acted. Why was he chosen for this task?
Remember in Star Wars Rebels, episode Stealth Strike, when Kanan and Rex disguised themselves as stormtroopers. Rex is not a fan of the Imperial armor, but he's at ease playing the role. He knows their jargon well, having coined much of it himself, and he carries himself properly in the uniform. Even before this in the Clone Wars, as noted above, on Endor as well as on the mission to Zygeria in the episode Kidnapped, Rex has been known to wear a disguise as well. Movie background characters have been flashed out in Star Wars TV shows before. For example guys, do you remember Admiral Yularen from the Clone Wars? Yeah, he was a stern fleet officer who reluctantly dared and occasionally admired Anakin's brash tactics. Well, as devoted fans know, he originally appeared in A New Hope in the background of the famous Death Star conference room scene. Filoni and company specifically chose Yularen from the original Star Wars film to be expanded into a major character in the Clone Wars. Knowing this, it's not a stretch to imagine them specifically taking the elderly commando from Return of the Jedi and crafting Rex's story to fit his minuscule role in the movie.
In the expanded universe, the Endor strike team extra was referred to as Nick Sent. All we know about him is in the following. Xant, or Gramps as he was affectionately known, was a member of the Rebel Alliance strike team sent to the forest moon of Endor. The oldest member of the team, Gramps, was a survival expert. Sant was a leading member of a group of soldiers who, in the beginning of the Galactic Civil War, devised plans for the rebellion's guerrilla-like attacks and key targets in the Galactic Empire. He also helped assemble the Endor strike team. When an Ewok stole a speeder bike, 3 scout troopers followed, leaving one at the shield generator. The rebels captured the scout, and Nick Sant disguised himself by putting on the scout trooper armor. Unfortunately, he was later captured by the Imperials and was held hostage along with the other members of the strike team. A lot of people who don't think this guy is Rex base a lot of their reasoning on the idea that he would be way too old by then, but in actuality, the age works out. In Attack of the Clones, we learned that the Clone Army's oldest clones were created 10 years earlier, or shortly after the events of the Phantom Menace. There are 36 years between the Phantom Menace and Return of the Jedi. Attack of the Clones also shows us the clones age at twice the normal human rate, with the clone who is apparently 10 years old taking 5 years to grow. Assuming Rex was one of the oldest clones, he would appear 72 by the time of Return of the Jedi, which definitely fits the looks of a soldier in question. He's a little old to be running around in the forest, but Rex is definitely the type to stay in shape and volunteer for such a mission despite advanced age. The medical technology in the Star Wars galaxy doesn't hurt either, so he might have found a way to reduce the aging process. But anyways, even though he appears mid to late 50s in Rebels, Rex hasn't slowed down yet. It's also not in his character not to be there.
Captain Rex's character is most interesting to me if he's born to serve the Republic, leaves it when it becomes an empire, and fights it to the very end to bring it back in line to what he's always believed it should be, and finally retiring when there's peace in the galaxy. Voice actor and Rex portrayer D. Bradley Baker and Dave Filoni have both said that Rex is the ultimate soldier and values the Republic and its ideals above all. Filoni said at the screening that his theory was a spoiler. This tells us that Rex survives Rebels and he's around during the trilogy. Assuming he isn't killed off-screen, he would absolutely volunteer to serve at Endor, where they seem to be taking all comers. The Captain Rex we've come to love these past years would not rest until the Republic was restored.
Both of you showed valor out there. Real courage. Remind me of me, actually.
Ultimately, this is our favorite argument for Rex being in Return of the Jedi. It would be really awesome. Star Wars is full of stuff we can't really logically explain, but that's okay, it's a fairy tale in space. It doesn't really matter that we can travel faster than light, there's no sound in space, or swords made of light are essentially impossible. It's Star Wars. All that really matters is a cool story about compelling characters is told about what happened a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Anyways guys, this is it on the video. We really hope you enjoyed it, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this one. And remember guys,
God is awesome all the time, may the Force be with you always, and we will see you in another video. Ye Rebel Scum.
This party's over.